As we commemorate this 10th year of Yolanda, let us continue to offer our prayers for our dearly departed, even as we find our own path towards peace, towards healing, towards recovery. We must make climate change a vital component of our national policies. We must make sure that we apply our knowledge on climate change to every plan, to every decision and initiative, so we can build stronger and more resilient communities.
Matapos ang isang dekada, sariwa pa rin sa ating mga alaala ang malalim na sugat na iniwan ng Bagyong Yolanda. Naging masalimuot man ang ating naging karanasan. Hindi naman matatawaran ang mahahalagang aral na hatid nito sa atin upang mas lalong paghandaan at pagtibayin ang pagtugon sa anumang suliranin na ating kakaharapin dulot ng pagbabago ng klima ng mundo. Ito ang isinusulong ng pamahalaan, isang bansa na kayang makipagsabayan sa anumang hamon ng panahon. Dahil ito ang Bagong Pilipinas. Ayon sa ulat ng World Risk Index 2023, nangunguna ang Pilipinas sa mga bansa sa buong mundo na lubhang maapektuhan ng climate change.
Tayo ay nasa gitna ng tropical cyclone belt and Pacific Ring of Fire. So ibig sabihin nito, nakakaranas tayo ng madalas na mga bagyo. At kasama din dito ang geologic phenomenon na mga earthquakes o mga lindol. So on both the weather and the climate side and the geological side, may iba-ibang mga hazards tayo na kinakaharap every day. Sa higit na 1,500 na mga municipalities, 832 or 55.40% ay located along the coastline. So ibig sabihin nito, marami tayong mga towns na maapektuhan ng iba't ibang mga hazards dulot ng climate change.
At ayon sa Department of Environment and Natural Resources o DENR, ang Pilipinas ay nakararanas ngayon ng dalawang epekto ng climate change, ang rapid at slow onset.
Kung rapid yan, it really refers to, of course, yung bagsak ng ulan na all of a sudden it happens in such a volume that talagang baha tayo. No? That's one. Typhoons or tropical cyclones, that's another kind of rapid onset event. Now, when we talk about slow onset, no, these are also changes in temperature that are gradual over time that have an impact on the different sectors. These are, for example, drought, no, that's related to El Nino or other types of phenomena. The second thing that we need to watch out for is this, the change in the minimum temperature of the country. Okay, for every 1 degree increase in the minimum, you will have a 10% decrease in the yield of rice. So these are related directly to food security.
Batay sa mga pagsusuri, ang pag-init ng temperatura ng mundo ay sanhi ng pagtaas ng greenhouse gas emissions sa buong mundo, mula sa mga usok ng sasakyan at samot-saring polusyon, dahilan kung bakit tayo ay nakararanas ng pabago-bagong klima ng panahon na nagdudulot ng mga matitinding bagyo at El Nino phenomenon.
Ang Pilipinas din ay relatively a low emitter of greenhouse gases, pero ang emissions natin ay lumalaki. Ang rank natin is 40th sa buong mundo with a global percent share of 0.4%. So ibig sabihin nito, maliit tayo na bansa, ang greenhouse gas emissions natin ay ganun lamang kaliit. Ngunit ang nangyayari sa atin is tayo ang nakakaranas ng hagupit ng climate change in the form of droughts, in the form of bagyo. Base na rin sa pag-aaral ng ating DOST Pag-asa na ang temperatura ng Pilipinas ay tumataas with an average of 0.1 degrees Celsius per decade. At importante ito dahil gusto nga natin mailimit ang ating pagtaas ng temperatura sa 1.5 degrees. Those who are most responsible have to do more for those who are least responsible, because the lives and the livelihood and the future of our world are at stake.
Kaya naman isa sa mahalagang isinusulong ng Pangulo ay ang paglatag ng mga polisiya na tutugunan ang ating mga pangangailangan at mapaghandaan ang epekto ng climate change sa bansa.
Climate change is now an important criterion in our integral national policies, in planning, decision-making, up to the implementation of programs. The potential advantages of such enlightened policies extend to jobs and livelihood, with the unlocking of the development of the green and blue economies.
For the first time in our country's history, ang Philippine Development Plan natin ay nag-devote ng isang buong chapter, isang buong kabanata on climate change and disaster resilience. So, yun pa lang nakikita mo na nililinya lahat patungkol dito.
This has to be a whole of government and a whole of nation approach. The reason for that is the realization that climate issues actually they run through all the different department agendas. So that means everybody's actions are related to each other. When you have environmental issues, we need to understand that any changes in land, ocean, or atmosphere actually have an impact across the different sectors. We need to actually involve not just government departments, but also civil society, communities themselves, the private sector, and the academe.
Naglaan ng pamahalaan na mahigit 400 bilyong piso o katumbas ng 88% pagtaas para pondohan ang mga inisyatibang tungo sa climate adaptation sa iba't ibang ahensya ng pamahalaan. Habang 53 bilyong pondo ang inilaan para sa mga programang tumutugon sa climate change mitigation. At sa ilalim ng National Expenditure Program ng bansa para sa taong 2024, naglaan ng pamahalaan ng mahigit 500 bilyong piso para isulong ang decarbonization ng bansa at mga programang may layuning palakasin at isulong ang katatagan ng bansa laban sa epekto ng climate change.
Meron na tayong tinatawag na National Climate Change Action Plan at yan ay ginawa ng ating Climate Change Commission at kasama na rin dito, aligned with the National Climate Change Action Plan, ang Local Climate Change Action Plan para magkaroon ng isang balangkas ang ating mga LGUs para sila maging climate resilient. Pero kasama na rin dito ang National Framework Strategy for Climate Change. At yun ay nagbabago na dahil matatapos na yun. Under President Marcos, tayo ay on track para matapos na ang very first National Adaptation Plan natin.
So there are 3 things that we need to really pay attention to, and the President has outlined this. Energy security. We are on track, for example, to shift towards renewable energy, and that has been really led by the Department of Energy. Water security is organized the Water Resources Management Office, and that's under the DNR. On food security, we are adopting what we call an agroecology approach, and there are now discussions on how to make our food systems more climate resilient. So there are people in the Department of Agriculture na yun lang ang ginagawa ngayon, really looking at how can we make food security a possibility given the impacts of climate change.
At dahil ang buwan ng Nobyembre ay Environmental Awareness Month, iba't ibang programa at inisyatibo ang ginagawa ng ating pamahalaan para isulong ang kahandaan sa epekto ng climate change. Isa na dito ang Handa Pinas Visayas Leg ng Department of Science and Technology na kanilang itinuod sa anibersaryo ng Typhoon Yolanda sa Tacloban.
Handa Pilipinas is an exhibition of innovative technologies para makapaghanda tayo sa iba't ibang mga disasters. Whether related sa climate, weather, or geological, iba-iba ang pwedeng paghandaan. Even sa fire, no? Even sa health emergencies, meron din tayo. Ang kagandahan nito, gusto nating ipakita na merong mga teknolohiya na na-develop ang mga Pilipino para sa Pilipino. Ibig sabihin, ang mga na-develop na technologies ay angkop doon sa mga problema sa local government.
This can help people know how far the inundation can go. These are the depths of water as they move over land. Purple means lampas bahay. Pula or red means lampas tao. Orange, lampas bewang. Yellow, lampas tuhod. Blue is lampas sakong. Medium asul, that's lampas salampakan. We're going to publish the findings, our methods this December, and hopefully next year it will be available.
Sa nalalapit na pagdalo ng Pangulo sa Conference of the Parties o COP28, isang taunang pagtitipon ng mga bansang kasapi ng United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Pag-uusapan dito ang mga hakbangin at patakaran para tugunan at bigyan ng aksyon ang mga suliranin at hamon kaugnay sa climate change.
Okay, there are several work streams that we are going to be a major part of. But the President has always led the climate discussion with the issue of loss and damage. On mitigation and adaptation, what has happened now is we are in the process of finalizing our National Adaptation Plan and the Nationally Determined Contributions Implementation Plan. And what happens there is we have now outlined in terms of priority which sectors are the most important. In mitigation, it should be energy and transport, it should be agriculture, and the other sectors follow. In adaptation, what has emerged critically is that infrastructure is the main enabler and facilitator of climate change adaptation.
We're already making inroads sa Pilipinas based on our own limited resources. Imagine what the world can be if the developed world did so much more and followed through on its commitment.
May kakayahan ang ating gobyerno, ang ating mga sayentista na makapagbigay ng tamang impormasyon base sa siyensya para magkaroon tayo ng tamang pagpaplano, magkaroon ng tamang desisyon sa tamang oras. And these are technologies developed by Filipinos, intended for Filipinos, and even beyond. But ang technology, ang kaalaman ay useless kung hindi gagamitin para mas maging handa ang ating mga kababayan at ang ating mga bayan.
So in terms of your own capability, whether it's at a household level, a student level, you have a role to play, not just in decreasing our emissions, but in preparing for the impact. Not just to prepare to respond, but more importantly, to prevent the risk from actually taking hold of us and of course affecting us in the long run.
Ang bagong Pilipinas ay mayroong Pilipino na nag-iisip labas sa kanyang pansarili lamang. Ang bagong Pilipinas ay binubuo ng mga mamamayan na klaro sa kanila na sila ay may individual na responsibilidad para sa ikagaganda ng ating bayan. Hinahamon tayo ng realidad at hinahamon tayo ng ating Pangulo na we can be better. But we can be better only if we rely on ourselves, on our talent, our intellect, and our heart and soul to make things happen.
So my fellow Filipinos, let us remember the lessons of the past, not with despair, but with the determination to learn and to change for the better, to be better prepared, to be better able to help our people. Let us unite and channel all our energies into building a safer, stronger, more resilient Philippines for ourselves and for future generations. Sa bagong Pilipinas na ating isinusulong, ang bawat Pilipino ay laging handa sa pagharap sa mga hamon ng buhay at sa pagtulong sa iba pang mga nangangailangan.
Tunay na walang imposible sa bansang nagkakaisa para pagtagumpayan ang anumang hamon dulot ng pagbabago ng klima. Lalo na't ang bawat isa sa atin ay aktibong nakikilahok at nag-aambag para sa pangkalahatang paggamit ng kaligtasan at kaunlaran. Isa lang ito sa mga katangian ng isang bagong Pilipino, malaya mula sa pansariling hangarin at namumuhay ng tama para sa lahat, sa bansa at sa kalikasan. Isang katangian ng bagong Pilipino na ipinagmamalaki natin sa buong mundo, mga mamamayang Pilipino na bumubuo ng bagong Pilipinas.